Hey y'all, and welcome to Monday Night's Treasure Vortex with Gypsy Jules from YouTube's Zero Discrimination, as well as her website gypsydigs.com, and myself, Amanda Digger Degaz. Tonight we have two special guests that we are excited to have on the show and share some awesome stories with. But before we get started with that, hey Gypsy, how are you this evening?
Hey, I'm doing wonderful. I'm actually caught in the crossfires of this big hurricane that, hit landfall earlier today. And uh, so I am actually in Arkansas. I won't say where, but I'm in Arkansas. And as I was hitting this town I was coming into, it started pouring down this awful rain. Everybody started flipping their hazard lights on. It was insane and scary. You couldn't see a thing. People were pulling over on the side of the road, but I made it safely, and it's actually been really good weather since it kind of died off the rain, but I guess we're getting that other big band of part of this storm. Now, I guess it's kind of turned into a tropical storm, but the thing about the tropical storms, that's when the tornado watches and warnings start, and we're under a tornado warning right now. So apparently we just got to our cabin, and I'll announce who's here with me in a minute, but we got to our cabin, and the fridge was like blinking, and we tried to reset it, and it was making this terrible noise because I guess the electricity had went off because of the storms. So hopefully right now I've got one little bar on my phone, so hopefully it'll hold. And then my two cohorts, I think they're hanging on by a thread as well. And we're on Wi-Fi, but if the Wi-Fi goes out, I'm not sure what will happen. But as long as we can hang in there, we'll hope for the best.
Yeah, it sounds like if the Wi-Fi craps out, they will all probably end up off the phone, and you'll have to listen to me ramble for an hour. So,
well, hopefully that won't happen. I will say I just looked at the weather, and it looks like we're about to hit with some crazy stuff. I do know right now we're under a tornado watch. So it's probably going to turn into a tornado warning, and it looks like we're hitting a major thunderstorm till 9 a.m. in the morning. So we may be stormy weather all night. We'll see. But right now it's really cool here in our cabin. And we're just blown away by this cabin. I'll explain it later. But, oh, my gosh. But yeah, in Arkansas, and the scenery is beautiful up to our cabin. You could see the fog on the mountains, and it was just beautiful, picturesque. So how about you, Amanda?
Is it like 95, or did you send the heat this way on purpose?
Actually, I probably sent it your way because it's like here, when I looked as I was pulling in, it was about 75 degrees. Oh. So it's kind of dropped.
Can you send my weather back?
Because of probably the weather.
Yes, send me my weather back, please.
Well, how hot is it there?
Yeah, it got up to 95 today. And the humidity at 90-something%. It's been fun.
Oh, wow. Well, so the weather, it sounds like you were maybe able to get out and do some treasure hunting?
Yes, I've been in a river, a very fun river, for the last week or so.
Is it a river that you and I have kind of visited, or?
Nope, this is a different river.
Something different.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man, well, tell us all about it.
No, just a quick overview. There's a dump on the side of it, and I go in with a scoop and a sifter, and basically I'm staying cool, and not every scoop, almost every scoop has something awesome in it, like clay pipes, doll heads. I got a glass doll eye, glass bottle stoppers. I got a bucket list find this week.
Oh, man.
It's
guys, before you say what it is, she just sent me a photo of this bucket lister. I don't even think I knew they existed. You might have mentioned it before, actually, but I just don't remember. It seemed like you mentioned it on a podcast, but I've been refreshed, and she sent me a photo, and I'm like blown away. Go ahead and tell them what you found.
Well, it's funny because I usually, I'm going, does you know what this is? And I did that to John, and it's an antique breast pump. So and the glass is all intact. It's just missing the rubber, um, pop up the
That's
rubbers.
insane.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine. I don't even want to talk about. I've had 2 kids, so I can imagine using a breast pump back in those days
Yeah.
because, totally different than modern technology. But oh my gosh, I didn't even know. I guess I'm just kind of blown away. What a bucket lister. That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's not pretty cool. It's pretty amazing because it's totally intact.
Yeah,
So,
it's intact, and I mean, we find a lot of things, that are the start of female care, I guess. So it was interesting. It's been on my list, so I'm glad to have it.
when you first sent it to me, I'm looking at it. What is that? I'm like, it looks kind of like a bugle, like
Yeah.
glass
Yep.
bugle.
I was like a saxophone or bugle, like you said. Yep.
Yeah, it looked like a bugle, or you know what I mean.
Yep.
But yeah, so as for me, I'm trying to think of when I got out last. I think it was the weekend before, and I haven't put out a video, folks, because I've been traveling and also starting a business and for my helping for my sons, and it's just been a crazy whirlwind, and then going back out of town, and so here I am, and I think we should go ahead and announce what I'm doing here in Arkansas, meeting up with 2 crazy people here. And I was actually in Arkansas, I think it was a week and gosh, we'll have to ask them. I got to see these 2 goobers over a week ago, and we were digging for some really cool relics and artifacts and some Native American stuff on some private property. Not digging, I would say, but there was a field that had been kind of plowed, and we were looking and scratching around in this field, and it was amazing. We had some amazing finds, which we can tell you about that, and you've probably seen some photos on social media. But without further ado, I kind of spilled the beans when I tagged them for tonight, but it was kind of on purpose just to kind of give you an idea. But our very special guest tonight, we have Relic Riley, and we also have Eagle Eye Brandon Sutton. And
Welcome.
2 great friends. Welcome, guys.
How y'all doing? What up?
Oh, gosh, guys, I can't tell you how excited I am that you are here. I know we've had Brandon on before, but I don't think we've had Riley. And so, Riley, welcome for the first time. I think we've had Brandon actually twice on here because he does a treasure show called Treasure Fest. I think twice a year, is it, Brandon?
Yes, no. So it's once a year. It's a treasure
once a year
hunt in Murfreesboro, Arkansas, Kadoha Treasure Fest.
Yes, and I remember, I think I went the very first year, and that might have been the year, I think that was the year I very first met you, probably. Mm-hmm. I can't remember unless I met you at a Garrett hunt.
It was no, so either that one or the second hunt that we did.
It could have been the second one.
Yes, so that was like close to 4 years ago, I think, something like that. So.
Okay, yeah, so it was close to about 4 years ago. I met Brandon, and we were trying to recall when I met Riley, and I think I met Riley it was either Pound the Ground or another.
Pound the Ground in New York. Yeah. I think 2000.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or 20.
I think you're right.
Yeah, it was 2019 was the big blowout. And I remember, Riley, you were in one field, and I think you managed to find where one of the settlers houses was or whatnot, and you found like quite
Oh,
a
yeah.
few coppers.
Yeah, that corner of the road up there was we think a tavern site maybe, but
Yeah.
there was tons of coins that came off that corner.
Wow. And that was insane. I think, is that the trip that I got sick on, Amanda?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so I probably didn't get to know Riley very much there because I got really sick. That's when COVID was just beginning, and I actually ended up with COVID, and I was I got sick there, and then I think I come back and I was sick for like 2 more weeks, and I've never been that sick in my life. And I had gotten the call from Steve Moore from Garrett that they were going to Italy the next few weeks or month or so, and they asked me to go to Italy, and COVID hit and it was shut down and I couldn't go. But, oh well, things happen. And then I think when I really got to know Riley was when we went to another hunt was it New York, Amanda, when we went to Digstock, I think it was.
Probably. It was, yeah.
And Riley, do you remember we went to that park where you were finding all of those buttons?
Ah, yeah, that was Digstock.
Oh, yeah.
That was epic. I never will forget that. I mean, Riley would take 2 steps and he would like wiggle his like detector and then pop out something amazing. And there was some amazing stuff that came out of that park. And do you remember what all you found? I know you found a lot of Rev War, I'm pretty sure, buttons, wasn't it, Riley?
Yeah, it was a lot of a War of 1812, and I actually found a fraction of what came out of the park total. There were several people that did equally as good as I did, and a couple people that found some really good stuff. I remember one dude found a New York, a War of 1812 New York Excelsior button that had like all of the gold gilt on it still, and he found that right next to the spot.
And
insane.
The girl that found the shoulder, I can't think of what it's called, scapula, the shoulder.
Epaulette.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, there was.
That's on my bucket list.
Somebody dug a gentleman from, I think, Washington found a Pillar and Globes half real in there that was just beautiful.
Oh, gosh. That's on my bucket list. I've only found a cut real, so I'm still due a whole one. But, guys, I think that was kind of the beginning of when I first met them, and then kind of getting to know them, a few different hunts. I think actually more the Kadoha hunt that Brandon puts on every year. Brandon, you want to tell everybody about coming up? And is it October?
Yes, it'll be October. Listen, my brain, we've had so much. So it'll be October, I believe. You can join the Kadoha Treasure Fest Facebook page with the details. I think there's a pinned post up top. I believe it's 11th, 12th, and 13th. Yes,